Wishes by Moun Thi. Illustrations by Victor Ngai. The night wished it was quieter. The bag wished it was deeper. The light wished it was brighter. The dream wished it was longer. The clock wished it was slower. The path wished it was shorter. The boat wished it was bigger. The sea wished it was calmer. The sun wished it was cooler. The heart wished it was stronger. The home wished it was closer. And I wished I didn't have to wish anymore. When I hear about the secrets, escapes, and border crossings, about families' destinations and separations, about fear and loss, about hope and new beginnings, I can't help but think about my family's own story and wonder, how long and how often will this story be told? When I was born in 1980 in South Vietnam, my family had already been hiding for several years. My father had served in the Navy on the losing side of the long civil war that ended a few years earlier. The new Vietnamese government was not kind to those who had previously opposed them. We were hiding so that our father would not be captured and imprisoned, where he might then die. Soon after I arrived, my family quietly made our way back to our village. We stayed in our house near our grandfather's house, and my mother and her family began secret preparations for an oceanic voyage to Hong Kong. Almost no one knew that we were leaving until the moment we left. On the night of our departure, every one of the 22 passengers aboard our boat left behind a child, a spouse, a parent, a grandparent, or a sibling. Some we never saw again, including my grandfather. We left streets and neighborhoods that were as familiar as lines on our hands. We left customs and traditions that have been handed down for generations. We left communities that have shared in our joys and sorrows. We left our world pursuing and hoping for a better one. During our week-long voyages at sea, we ran out of gas, we ran out of food, and we hit a storm so terrible that almost ended our journey and our lives. Some of our relatives lost their young children while making the same journey. Fortunately, everyone on the voyage survived, and we even rescued 4 refugees stranded on an island of Hainan. In the waters near Hong Kong, our boat was spotted by a local Coast Guard. We were eventually brought to a refugee camp where we stayed for almost a year before we found asylum in the new home in the United States. Many refugees are made every day, and not only from local violence and persecution, but increasingly more catastrophic and natural disasters and climate change effects. It's not always easy to decide whom to help and when, but I think it is easy to open our hearts to do what we can, when we can. Sometimes that means that sharing what we don't need, whether it's food, clothing, or room. Sometimes that means volunteering as a language tutor, a guide, or a driver. Sometimes that means demonstrating to show support and solidarity. And Sometimes that means petitioning to change laws and policies. Sometimes doing what we can just means saying hello. I wish only for a safer, kinder, fairer, and more beautiful world. I hope you'll join me in this wish. Together, we can make it come true. Mường Thị Ban